Gonzula Island by Neil Cook. 8th of February 1988. One day, me and my wife and my 2 kids was getting ready to go on holiday. The wife was still packing some of the clothes. When she packed the clothes, we started to load the stuff into the car. When we had loaded the stuff, we set off. Then, as we was just going out the road, our tyre burst. So the time we had fixed the puncture, we was 25 minutes late for our ferry. When we got to the ferry port, the ferry was just leaving, so we had to wait for another to come. It was nearly 2 hours till the next ferry came. When we was boarding the ferry, there was police everywhere. I asked, "What's going on?" The policeman said, "There are escaped convicts on the loose. They're armed with machine guns as well." When we was on the ferry, the escaped convicts were on there. They had taken over the ferry. One man tried to shout out of the window, but he got shot. We was on the ferry for 2 days now, and we hadn't been treated right. But then there was a loud crash. Then the ferry started to turn over. There was people screaming, but we managed to climb into a raft. As we was watching the ferry sink, there was all kinds of things floating around, such as clothing, machine guns, telescopes, maps, money, and bits of wood. We grabbed as much stuff as possible as we can when we was floating in the raft. My eldest son John, who is 15, spotted a deserted island through the telescope. So we all paddled towards the island. When we got to the island, we built a little tent made from sheets and a few metal from the ferry. The next day we decided to go and explore the island to see if there was any people and any food, but we couldn't find any people, but we found some food. When we got back to the tent, we started to build a tree house. The first thing we started to build was a kitchen, then 2 bedrooms, a bathroom and a storage room. Then we started to work on our defences. We dug pits all the way around the tree house. We put tripwires around the holes, and we put machine guns in the tree house. Then finally we finished our new home. We'd had our best meal ever since the day we arrived, which was now exactly 1 month. The following day we started to build a boat out of a tree which was hollowed out. We have been now exactly 5 years and 2 months, and we haven't met one person on this island. Then the following day we heard drums being beat. We went to have a look. We couldn't see anything at first, but then there was cannibals. Then there was cannibals doing some kind of dance around 2 cannibals. They was getting ready to eat them. They chucked one cannibal onto the fire. Then suddenly the other cannibals started to run. 2 of the warriors started to chase after them. So me and my eldest son went after the 2 warriors. We shot them down like a piece of horse meat. After we shot the warriors down, the cannibals came running towards us. We loaded our machine gun ready to shoot him if he attacked us. Then he stopped and picked up a boulder and chucked it at my son. So I shot him. He fell slowly to the ground. I picked my son up and took him back to the treehouse. When I got back to the treehouse, my wife shouted out, "What's the matter?" I shouted back, "John has been hit on the shoulder by a boulder. A cannibal chucked it at him, so I shot him with a machine gun." "Bring him up then," said my wife. The time he woke up, he had a big bump on the side of his head. A few weeks later we started back on the boat. We nearly had finished the boat. We just had to put up the sails. Then finally we had finished the boat. We tested it out on a river which was on the island. When we had tested it on the river, we took it out to the sea. Me and my youngest son took out on the boat. His name was Peter, who was 12 years old. When we was on the sea, we spotted another island. We rowed towards the island. When we got to the island, we tied the boat around a small rock. We went and explored the island. Then we heard drums. I said to my youngest son, "Listen, it's the cannibals. Let's get out of here," said Peter. We ran towards the boat, and the cannibals wasn't far behind us. We jumped into the boat and rowed as fast as possible back to the island. We was at the island in no time. I said to my wife, "The cannibal will find us in about 2 hours." So we started to make up some traps. we got the axes out of the storage room. We chopped a few trees down and tied them up at the top of the hill. We all got in our places. My eldest son was ready to let the logs go. The rest of us was at the top with the machine guns. Then we saw the cannibals rowing ashore in their canoes. There was about 200 of them. There was cannibals tripping everywhere. They fell into the holes. There was blood everywhere. One man got ate by a lion. There was 2 lions. They tore him apart like a piece of rubber. Then they came to the bottom of the hill. My eldest son John pulled the rope and the logs went crashing down the hill. There was blood everywhere. Then the cannibals came running up the hill. We shot as many cannibals as possible. Then suddenly we ran out of ammunition. Then the Navy came and saved us. All the cannibals were now dead. We were saved, and I said to the captain, "What will happen to this island?" He said, "This island will go on the map. There will be people coming to live on this island. It will be known as Gonzula Island." The captain asked us if we was ready to go. I said, "We are going to spend the rest of our lives on this island. You can take my eldest sons with you." Then my 2 sons went back to the treehouse to get their stuff. When they got back on the beach, that's it. Thank you.